I have a very special guest that's going to be on today. My good friend, Mr. Brady Johnson. Brady is originally out of Louisville, Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, he'll trust me once I bring him out. I mean, he'll correct me once I bring him out. But also, he's living in Chicago right now, and Brady is a stroke survivor. Not quite sure of how many years it's been for him yet, but I don't want to give out too much information anyway because I'm let him do all that. And he'll share, his stories with us, his life before his stroke, and then we'll go off into, you know, life after the stroke. But you guys just give me a second here. I'll get ready to bring Mr. Brady Johnson in just a few minutes.
Take. You gotta have that mindset that quitting is not an option. Give up? Who, me? Never. Stop? Who, me? Never. That's for the next guy. That's for the next girl. But not me. Why? Because I don't quit. That ain't how I do it. That ain't how.
All right, so let's get Brady in here.
Hello.
What's going on, my brother? How we doing?
I'm great.
That's good, man. Hey, first off, man, I want to thank you very much for taking the time out to come and join us on Y.E.T.T this afternoon and tell us a little bit about Brady and let us know how he's doing and how things going. So, I'll tell you what. Let's start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself, Brady.
Well, actually, I did grow up in Louisville, Kentucky, but actually I was born in Toledo and lived in two places in New Jersey, and played baseball. Started playing baseball when I was about 7. And so I played that, and I ended up playing baseball. I got invited to work out for the Chicago White Sox coming out of high school.
Oh, wow.
And
with the White Sox?
Yes, sir.
And okay, so, I got a story to tell you after that. Go ahead.
And I instead went to University of Louisville, play baseball. In high school, I was also a Pepsi Generation singer. I sung. Us and Michael Jackson were the only group sponsored by PepsiCo in the world. So we had Christmas shows. We had tapes. I'm telling how old I am now. We had tapes out and things like that. I thought life was going on pretty smooth. Academically, I struggled in college because I didn't really put myself to it. I was only a partial education kid. I didn't know how to act basically. So I got kicked out of college, and after I got kicked out of college, I felt I let my mom down, and so I left Kentucky and I came to Illinois. And when I came to initially to Illinois, I was able to stay with my father for a couple of days, and after that, I ended up living in my car, and living in a car, and going to the Gulf station to wake up in the morning to wash up. And I began to start working at a factory, and one day I wanted to go back to school, so I went back to school, but I got lost on campus, and I bumped into a recruiter. So coming into the recruiter, it was an Air Force recruiter. And I asked him, I said, sir, what must I do to join the United States Air Force? 6 months later, I was in basic training, getting yelled and screamed at 22 years old.
Okay.
And
now,
it was
now
West
what
Point,
branch was that?
United States Air Force,
Okay.
and loved every day, every bit. In 1996, I was involved in the terroristic bombing that killed 17, wounded over 500 of us. And but Homestead, I was have a daughter, and she was 9, and so she was always with her daddy, and got transferred a few places. And when I got stationed to Illinois, it was my third place of station, fourth place of station, year 13. I've been having headaches, and at that point, because I ran marathons, I thought it was just stress. We had Afghanistan going on, and of course, I've been involved in the terroristic bombing in Saudi Arabia. So I thought it was just stress, my headache. But in all actuality, when I went to the doctor, to the emergency room, I found that I was bleeding. I'd been bleeding for 3 months
You were bleeding for 3 months.
in my brain. Yes.
3 months. Oh wow.
And at that point, they took me into emergency surgery and called all my family and my wife, who was my fiance at that time, her family, and they did surgery. And during surgery, I had a massive stroke. And the doctor, once they got me from coma to ICU, from ICU to the rehab center, day 1 in the rehab center, doctor walks into my family, including my wife and all her family, and said, Mr. Johnson, you had a massive stroke. And I was in a wheelchair, slumped over. And I had aphasia, so I couldn't talk. But he says, Mr. Johnson, you'll never speak clearly, ever again. Mr. Johnson, you'll never walk without aid. Mr. Johnson, you'll never go back to work. Mr. Johnson, your eyes crossed during surgery, so you'll never be able to read, write, or drive. And he asked, are there any questions?
Look at God.
All I could do was cry because I couldn't talk at that point. But I believe that my Lord is true. So I stuck with my Lord.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And one of the things that that I must add in is that I'm an ordained minister. I've been in the ministry for about 25 years. So I told people, I have a doctor who's never lost a patient.
Okay.
And that's what I believe in. That's what I believe
in. I'll tell you, man. Okay. So now how long ago was it?
I'm 20 years, almost 21 years now.
Oh, wow. 21 years. Okay. So the White Sox, just to let you know, I had a good friend of mine that actually, unfortunately, he passed away last week, and we just had funeral service this past Saturday. But he actually played for the White Sox as well.
Really?
Yeah, right here out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, man. One of the best athletes we had down here in Tuscaloosa. Great, super great guy, man. It was sad, but he passed away. But yeah, so when you mentioned White Sox, they kind of brought that up, made me think about that.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now?
Now, actually, I lift weights. Kind of focused.
You don't lift no weights, man.
I cannot feel the right side of my body at all, from my head to my toe. And right now, I'm the only 50% disabled bodybuilder in the world that competes with everybody else.
The only one in the world?
Yes, that competes with everybody else.
50%. No feeling on the right side.
Not at all. Not to save my life. I broke this finger, didn't know I broke it, and it healed wrong.
Oh man, that is something else, man. So tell me, why don't you share with us some of the competition you've been in and how you place in those competitions? With some of them, I kind of know about because I follow you a lot and try to keep up with you and see
Thank
how
you.
you're doing when every time you have what you call it? It would be every time you compete.
Yeah, I compete.
Okay.
2 weeks ago, I was in the Wisconsin Warrior. I was first and third, and that was my second competition of the year. I usually do 4 to 5 competitions
Uh-huh.
per year. I was in Pittsburgh about 2 months ago, and I won 3 times.
Three
So,
times in Pittsburgh.
sir,
You said 3 times in Pittsburgh.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
So
when the next one coming up?
my next competition is actually September. It's going to be in Minnesota.
Okay.
So I'm gearing up on that and just getting back
Yeah.
on the gym, back in the gym and working out.
Okay, man. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the results on that. No, hey,
Thank
don't let
you.
me down now.
I know that's right. I know that's
Yeah.
right.
Don't let your boy down, man. So tell me, so what are besides okay, I tell you what the first question is. When you first after you first had your stroke and your medication, I think I heard you correctly when we talked the other day, but I want you to repeat that for me. How many pills you say you was on?
I was on 40 medicines a day. 40 medicines.
Lord, 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 40 medicine a day. And you
Yes.
down to what now?
12.
12.
Yeah.
Now, see, when I first had my stroke, I started off with 12. I was on 12. So to hear you say 40, I was like, maybe I misunderstood him. I'm not going to ask him to repeat that, but maybe I misunderstood what he said. But wow,
Yes.
40, man. I started off on 12. I'm down to 7 now.
That's awesome. That's
So,
awesome.
really focusing on trying to get rid of them blood pressure pills, man. I'm down to
Yes.
just 2. I was on like 4 of them. So I'm doing good. And my blood pressure, I'm ranging in between 138, 140 over anywhere from 82 to 88. So
That is
I'm keeping
awesome.
pretty good track of it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. That's great. That's great to hear. So besides pumping that iron, because that's all I ever see you doing, what are some of the other things that you enjoy doing, bro?
Well, actually, I'm writing my second book.
Okay.
My first book that I wrote is I wrote a book, and it's called A Life of Commas, a soldier story.
Okay, a
And you
life of
can
commerce. I like that.
a soldier story, and that actually comes from my mother. My mother has her PhD hours in English and English lit. And when I was 12, 13, I was young, and I looked at my mom, and she'd cut up all these papers. They were in red. She marked, and I said, "Mama, I read the paper, and I said, and it says, my name is John, period. I'm from Texas, period. I want to be a doctor, period." And my mother said, "Baby, it's because they only learned how to do the period. They never learned the gift of a comma. A period
Life.
ends things, and a comma continues."
That's it.
And so that's where I got the title from, A Life of Commas, a soldier story. Because, of course, with them telling me I'd never speak clearly again, and I am, and I've written a book, I drive, I went back to work and retired from the government. And so to me, that's what life is all about. But now I'm writing my second book.
Okay, well, congratulations on that, bro.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad to hear that. And I probably missed that back when I first met you when you was on Jerry's show a couple of years ago. I probably
Yeah.
missed that part about the first book because had I heard it, I would already have it.
Oh,
So,
that's all
now
right.
that I know, you best believe I'm gonna get it.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you.
definitely gonna get it, man. And I'm glad that you're doing good, bro. I'm glad that things are, going on the up and up for you. And like when you and I talked the other night, we have to stay encouraged, with one
Yes,
another,
right.
man, that reach out and have those conversations with one another, keep pushing it, just fight, fight, fight.
Yes.
That's what you have to do, man. You just have to keep fighting. Can't give
Yes.
up. If you don't take that but 5 minutes out of your day, if you just, stretching your arm, you know,
Yes.
whatever you're doing, I my speech is a whole lot better than what it used to be as well. But I
That's
had
awesome.
different exercise that my orthopedist taught me to do, with my mouth to help, with the help with my speaking and the rolling of my tongue and different things like that as well. So, just
Yes.
even with just sitting up watching television, I sit there and, massage my hands a lot. I got a good friend of mine, which I mentioned Tammy to you.
Yes.
Tammy, yeah,
Yes.
Tammy is in she gonna kill me for this because I cannot remember. I know it's Georgia, but I can't remember
Yes.
what part of Georgia it is. But every time me and Tammy talk, she always asking, JP, are you massaging the hand while you watch TV? Are you rubbing that hand? Are you massaging your hand like you're supposed to? You know, are you trying to sit up to get up out of the bed instead of rolling out of the bed? She always
Yes.
pushes me to make sure that I'm doing the things that I need to be doing to try to get better. And
That's
and
awesome.
and that's what it's all about. We got another good scrub warrior hours. I got to get your number. Get his number passed along to you too. But John, a young brother named John. John is he's in Louisiana, and
Okay.
yeah, John had a stroke, and John and I we reach out and we text a lot and talk a lot too, and he's kind of like me. He don't rest a lot at night. He kind of do a lot of napping through the daytime like I do. So sometimes John and I be on the phone texting at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, man. Just
Yeah.
shooting ideas to one another, talking about what we're doing, what we're working on. So I appreciate you again, man, with you taking the time out to come on and speak with us and let us know about your story, man. And I look forward to hear more about your recovery because like you said, it's 20 going on 21 years.
Yes. Yes.
That's man, that's something else. And I think I want to say, Brady, I think you probably, yeah, I think you got the most years in of anyone I've met because I think Jerry's like 13 or 14, and I don't want to speak on Miss Lynette yet because I'm not sure how long it's been for Miss Lynette, but I know Miss Lynette, she had been through some rough times, man, but God is good. Because
All the time.
Miss Lynette had, I want to say she had like 7 or 8 strokes.
Mm,
So that woman is nothing but a soldier, man.
that's
Straight
right.
soldier. But she comes on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Central Time. Her show's on Tuesday night, and I love listening to her, man. She's a great motivator. I like tuning in with her. Sometimes I probably be sleeping, I miss her, but I'll go back and catch up and watch it later, whatnot. And then as Jerry's still on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Jerry
Okay.
come on Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock a.m. every day. Well, every week on Tuesday and
Yeah.
Thursday. He having some issues right now with Facebook. Don't know exactly
Um,
what's going on, so you have to tune in to Jerry on YouTube for right now.
okay.
But I know he's in the mix of working on trying to get that figured out and whatnot. But man, look, I tell you what, before we get out of here, what why don't you give the folks out there, man, some encouraging words? What would you tell them?
Well, one of the biggest things that I talk about is don't think about what happened. You think about what you're going to do. And
Okay.
to me, those are the biggest thoughts because in the Bible it says, no man having put his hand on the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God. So we must stop talking about what happened in the past and just focus on what's going to happen in the future. because your future is going to always be more than what you had in the past. And
Right.
if we focus on the things that we used to do and used to have, we get in the way of what God wants us to have and to do tomorrow and today.
Got you. That's good, bro. I like that, man. That's
Thank
really good. I like the way you put that. You know, and one thing I like to say too is, you know, the river mirror is small for a reason.
That's right.
You know,
Amen.
that river mirror is small for a reason.
That's
And that
right.
front windshield is big for a reason.
That's
So you gotta
right.
look for the big picture, man.
That's right.
All that stuff that's behind you, let it stay behind you. Yeah, you're gonna look back there to remind you about what you seen there. Hey, what not to do. But look at where you at right now and look at the big picture of where you're going.
That's right.
That's what it's all about, bro. So again,
That's
man, look, Brady, you know I love you, bro. I appreciate you.
Love you too, brother.
And as always, you know, we'll be talking probably sometime tonight or tomorrow. I know we'll be cutting up on the phone like we always do.
Yes.
But look, man, you have enjoy the rest of your day, man. And you through with your workout for the day. You got more workout to do.
More workout to do.
Ooh. How many times you do it today?
Usually I work out for 3 hours a day, 6 days a week. So I've already done an hour and a half on the stationary bike, and I'm gonna hit the weights.
Okay, gotcha. All right, man. But look, I appreciate you again, bro, coming on. God bless you, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
man,
so much for having me on your show.
Yeah, and do we have a title for the book that's coming up yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've kind of messed around with some, but I don't have a hard title
Well,
yet.
when you get it, just get it to me. You know, make sure I know, and I'll put it out there, man. And like I said, I'm gonna also purchase the first one so I can get that book read and share with the rest of the warriors as well, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, brother. Well, I'll talk with you later on today.
All right. You have a blessed day. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.
All right.
Take. You gotta have that mindset that quitting is not an option. Give up? Who, me? Never. Stop? Who, me? Never. That's for the next guy. That's for the next girl. But not me. Why? Because I don't quit. That ain't how I do it. That ain't how